Okay. Alright, folks. So, I'm going to do this very brief video just to... Because I had somebody was telling me that I should start doing some videos to explain the life of a mom who has a child with autism. For those who do not know, my two youngest ones have autism. Well, are diagnosed autistic. I always say it like that. They're diagnosed autistic. One is nonverbal. I have only had, I want to say in the last 2 days, I want to say I probably had maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And that has been broken up. I am super tired right now. So, my husband, he's in a room right now. We didn't know if he had COVID or not, because he had been doing a lot of coughing and stuff. He works at a shipyard. He didn't wear his respirator the way he was supposed to. Started doing a lot of coughing. We're like 90% certain that that's where the cough came from, but just to be on the safe side, he's been in the room. So I've been out here by myself, and I typically had the kids by myself anyways, but every now and again, you know, for parental reasons, he'll come up in there. I mean, for parental reasons, Lord Jesus. For disciplinarian reasons, he'll jump in and be like, hey, y'all need to go in the room. Give your mama a break. Something like that. Well, he's been in the room. All right, so I've been taking care of him. And then, of course, I have the two youngest kids. And then trying to stay on top of my son, who is my eldest son, who is 20 years old. Trying to stay on top of that. And trying to make sure I stay on top of my stuff. My blood sugar has been out of whack. So for those who don't know, I'm also diagnosed type 2 diabetic. My numbers have been like 380 something. That is not, for those who don't know, that's not good. But I haven't, everything's been out of whack. And I'm super tired. I gotta go to church. And I have not gotten enough sleep. And I'm afraid to tell them that I can't go to church, because I haven't been to church for the last 2 Sundays. Because I also had COVID week before last. And it ended, wait, am I saying that right? I had COVID, so I couldn't go. Obviously, I don't have it now. Oh yeah, my husband took the test. He's negative. So we kind of figured, okay, so that's what it is. You know, the situation with the respirator thing, and he breathed all that stuff in or whatever. So yeah, so he tested twice and was negative. So we're good on that front, but he was just in the room because, you know, he had a really bad cough. And he said, well, I don't want to pass anything on to the kids, you know, because I think it might be a cold. It turned into a cold or something like that or whatever. But anyways, long story short, I'm tired. It is not easy when you have 2 kids who are diagnosed with autism, because the sleeping pattern for one of them, his sleeping pattern is jacked up. It is totally jacked up. I would have, sometimes the teachers would call and say, did he get a good night's rest? Because he seems really fussy today. And that, I'm saying there like, if you look at the paperwork, if you look at the paperwork that you give us to fill out in the beginning of the school year, is there anything that we should know about your child? And this and this. I say he has his sleeping pattern is thrown off. There's some days that he may be cranky because he didn't get any sleep, so forth and so on. So, anyways, so I was able to get a little bit of sleep, but then Brian came in the living room. He was a little fussy. He came in the room, was a little fussy. Finally got him calm. Gave him some melatonin so he can go lay down. He dozes off, but because he was so fussy, it woke Andre up. So then she comes in here and... Okay, let me back up a little bit. So I'm sleeping in the living room, so my husband can sleep in the room by himself. I'm sleeping in the living room because we didn't know what he had at first. Now it's been confirmed that he doesn't have COVID or whatever like that, but I still need to spray that room down and everything. So, okay, now go back. So Brian has been coming back and forth to the room. He finally goes to sleep, but because he was so fuzzy, he woke Adriana up. Adriana has this thing where she will talk to herself, but if you pay attention, it's like her inner thoughts. She speaks out loud. So like if she'll come to me like, Mom, I'm hungry. Mom, I'm hungry. Then she might, if you listen close, she might say something like, why are you bugging her? You see she's frustrated. Calm down. It's like her inner thought. She speaks out loud, but she speaks it in a high-pitched voice. And so her going back in the room doing that, she woke Brian back up. But I had given her some melatonin, so she ended up falling asleep. But by this time, she has already woken Brian back up. It is now, what time is it? 1:35. Okay, Brian. All right. Yep. So it's 1:35 in the afternoon. I need to hurry up and get dressed because technically I need to leave out of here no later than 2 o'clock so I could get to church. No sleep. Are you copying him? Yes, you are. So now there's Andre and Brian. They're back in the living room, even though I asked them to go back to the room so I could try to get about 30 minutes of sleep in. Of course, this means I'll probably be getting to church late. This happens on a regular basis. So the other reason why I made this video is because there's another young lady that I met her in one of the communities. She was explaining how her husband doesn't get it when she says she's tired. And he like, well, what do you be doing all day? Because the house is like this, this, and this. And she's like, if you come home, I'm still alive and your child's still alive. And he looks clean and he looks happy. And you know, this is what she said, I've done a lot that day. Now, if you come home and he too scared to come out the room, but the laundry is done and the dinner, dinner is fixed and I'm looking all dolled up, I've neglected him. I'm going to tell you, sir, it is hard. It is very hard. And you're expected to run on 100 with, a 15, 20% battery. I'm tired. It's hard. It's not easy. And they're just running back and forth. And here I've asked them several times to go to the room. That's still hard. My son has body slammed himself on me a couple of times, but that's because he's happy. He's in happy mode right now. Brian is 90% of the time happy, like laughing, happy, everything like that. But then every now and again, he'll have his bursts of sadness. And from a spiritual place, of course, we be praying and stuff like that because of how it kicks in. But at the same time, you have to understand that with children with autism, sometimes that happens. Their emotions can go from 0 to 100. And the bigger they are, sometimes the harder it is to deal with that. Because you have some kids who are very physical. Now, my son Brian, he doesn't know his own strength. So he'll come up to me to give me a hug. And body, you got to slow down, baby. Slow down. Where's your inhaler at? Oh, it's right there. So he'll like body slam himself like, and fall on me. And I'm like, oh my God, elbows hitting everything that shouldn't be hitting. Kneecaps. He trying to climb up on my kneecaps, go places it shouldn't be going. You're like, oh God, it's real. So be patient with parents who deal with that, who have that going on. It's a lot. I heard one lady say this, and another lady she was offended by it, but it's the truth. Was that plugged up? Was it plugged up? She grabbed her Chromebook from school. She wants to read. You want to read some stories on Literacy Pro? Is it charged? Okay, go ahead. But go in your bed with it so Brian can't grab it. Brian, pull your shirt down. Come here. What are you doing with your shirt? Pull your shirt down, baby. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So one lady said, and I'm going to tell you, somebody got seriously offended with her about this. He just came in because he wants this. Oh, cover your mouth. What color is that? Green. Good job. Woohoo. All right, one moment. Let me open this up for him as a treat. Hold on. Go ahead to the room. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Jesus, it took me so long to say this. One lady said that having one child with autism is equivalent to having 3 hyper kids. She said, so although I just have one child, it's almost like I have 3. One lady was very offended. She said, well, us parents that don't have any special needs kids, we have it hard too, and da-da-da-da-da. Before I got married, I was a single mother. I just had Giovanni. He doesn't have any mental abnormalities or anything like that. So it is hard being a single parent. It's hard being a parent, period, when you have a child. But I'm going to tell you something. And I would say it because autism, it's a spectrum. Okay, so you have some kids that you wouldn't even be able to tell that they're autistic until you go up to them to try to give them a hug, and they go from 0 to 100. There was this one lady, and you're so used to seeing autistic kids, it doesn't dawn on you, they grow up into adults. And so this one lady, they called her a Karen. But the more I kept looking at her, we was in Walmart, and she was like, oh my God, it's just taking so long. I just don't understand why it's taking so long. And she was perfectly fine one moment. The next moment she was going to another extreme, but then she kept repeating herself. And people was like, wow, Karen, wow. And I kept looking at her, and she was starting to do like this. I said, oh, no. I said, I think she's autistic. And one guy behind me, he said, I'm going to say something must be wrong with her. Da, 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 da. And so I kept looking, and I said, you know what? I think that's what is it, baby? What's wrong? Yeah, you need it. So close it and then plug it back up. Okay. You know how to plug it up?
Where's the charger?
Use my phone charger over there. Make sure it's plugged up. Yeah. You got it? Alright, good job. Huh? Alright, y'all need to go to the room. To the room. Run, Brian, run. Brian's like, girl. So anyway, so yeah, people was looking at her, and I was trying to get people to understand. I said, no. I said, y'all, I don't think she can help it. I don't think she can help it. And it was like, now she was like 2 people in front of me. And I said it, I wasn't screaming it, but I said it loud enough to where people on the next aisle over, those in front and those behind me could hear me. And the cashier, she was getting an attitude with her until I said, I don't think she can help it, y'all. And the cashier I could tell she just kind of calmed down, and she was like, okay. She said, well, does she have somebody here that can help her? We push so hard for them to be independent, but we don't push for the world to be more understanding, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? So it is hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? And I could just imagine for someone who becomes an adult and they have autism, and people will push it so far for you to be independent, and the parent is so happy they can live by themselves and da 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 da. But socially, can they handle this? You know what I'm saying? Emotionally, can they really handle this? You know what I mean? So my brain is kind of all over the place because I didn't get no sleep. So I could be talking about 3 different things at the same time. What was I talking about before then? I can't remember. But anyways, to the guy who was talking down to his wife, you need to be patient. I think you need to live 3 days in her shoes in order for her to really get it. Yeah. It's serious. Then I told him, I told him to go to the room. Brian, go to the room. Go play in the room. You have like oodles of toys. Matter of fact, clean up. Clean up. Okay, he understood that because he's upset now. It's real in these streets. So I just wanted to do that very, I would say brief video, but I think we're already about 16 minutes now. My body is starting to wake up a little bit. I did drink a little bit of coffee before I got up here, and I think it's starting to kick in a little bit, but I'm concerned about the crash. Yeah, it's real in these streets, y'all. It's so real. It's so real. It was something else I wanted to bring out too, because the lady, she told me it was something else. I don't want to have this video too long. I might just have to make another video about it, but she was saying, I can't remember. It was something else that she mentioned too. But yeah, for the rest of the world out there, just be patient. You know what I'm saying? Be patient with, not just with the children, with the teenagers, with the adults who are autistic, or special needs for all that matter. But be patient with the parents as well too, so, because you might have some of us out in public and we just as cranky as I don't know what, and it's like we don't mean no harm. We did not get any sleep. The little bit of patience that we have left inside of our blood system is just enough for the children. It's not for you. Okay. Okay. Oh, I was at a doctor's office one time, and the lady, she was so mean, but to her child, she was super nice. And people was like, well, God, I wonder how she act when she behind closed doors. Look, she probably ain't got the patience with y'all who don't have no issues. She just have enough patience to deal with her babies. Outside of that, she's tired, she's frustrated, she's probably a little hungry. If she's a woman, it might be that time. Just like for me, I'm about to be very transparent. I was sitting up here, I said, Lord, I said, I'm feeling I'm about to lose. I'm super cranky right now. Normally I could handle a little bit better. I said, why am I super cranky? I said, let me check my calendar. And I checked the calendar. And today is supposed to be the day. For women, y'all know what I'm talking about. Miss Flo is supposed to be coming by. I don't want her to come by, but I have no choice in the matter. She comes whenever she wants to. Especially now that I'm in my 40s. She literally comes whenever she wants to. And so then I got to deal with that monster, all that stuff. So on top of the health things that I deal with, and the emotional stuff, which I'm going to do more videos on that too, because one of the videos that somebody asked that I do, and I'm going to help her in this, she said, can you talk about depression and ministry? Y'all ain't ready for that conversation. Depression and ministry. Is it possible for someone in ministry to also deal with depression? Short answer, yes. Yes, it is. Now, you're going to have a lot of people that's going to jump on a spiritual bandwagon with that. It ain't always spiritual. Many times it's environmental. But y'all ain't ready for that conversation. We'll talk about that another time. All right, folks. Y'all keep me lifted in prayer. And I should do the same for you. Love y'all.